Imposter syndrome. It's one of those things that a lot of creatives have to fight. Um, I think most people that are in any kind of career probably deal with this to some degree. And today we're fighting mine. I need to put my cup down because I'm going to spill this one. Imposter syndrome. It is probably one of the biggest things that I battle when I'm going through the creative process. And today we're going to fight it. Didn't know you could fight something like this, but apparently you can. If there's one thing that therapy has taught me, it's that sometimes whenever you're dealing with a really big fear, the best way is to face it and ask yourself why. But before we start asking ourselves those questions, I need to relay a very important message. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who likes to delve into her own mind and share the process, mostly to reflect back on the past. If you're dealing with this issue, go get a therapist. I'm not a therapist. This is just me fighting my own battles and seeing where it goes. Yeah. So, that being said, imposter syndrome. I have fought this so many times. I have waged wars with myself over this specific battle. And with any fear, I've learned in therapy, the best thing to do is to ask yourself why you're afraid of it, which I already said that. I'm probably going to talk in circles. I'm trying to have more organization in these videos, but I don't make any promises. So we have to explore the why I'm afraid. And it's weird when you start vocalizing why you're scared of something, you either start feeling silly or you start feeling this unexplained anxiousness about it. I have come to two conclusions as to why this is such a big fear for me. And the first is the fear of failure. It's scary to try something new. What this isn't really new. I've been writing for years, mostly where other people can't see. But it's different when you start making moves to put it where other people can see it. And that feeds into another fear that I have, which is a fear of judgment. The idea that people get to read my work, it feels like I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve and I'm giving people power to decide things for me. And that is terrifying. Anytime I have a friend that wants to read my stuff, be it online friends or in person friends, I cannot be anywhere in the vicinity when it happens because I just panic and I have to make a quick escape to not see their reactions. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I can't explain the fear, but it's this irrational fear that I'll be judged. And the few times I have let people read my stuff and I'm nearby, um, the judgment's always been very gentle. And it's not even bad judgment, it's just general critiques, which is good. You need to be critiqued. But those are the two big things that feed into the whole imposter syndrome. And one thing that has kind of started changing my perspective is I have a voice actor. I'm a very big fan of him. A few months ago, he made a tweet about how he feels about his battle with imposter syndrome. And he's a pretty well known voice actor. And I was like, wow, I'm not alone. This is gonna follow me forever. That sounds really dark, but when you realize that there's people that are much further into your careers and they feel the same thing, it makes you realize that nobody knows what they're doing and that it's okay to not know. Now that we know the why, we have to figure out how are we going to tackle this and how are we going to confront it. Because the best way to tackle fear is to confront it head on and try to start changing some behaviors to help set yourself up for success. And that's easier said than done. I can easily say, oh, I'm going to wake up in the morning and tell myself that it's okay to fail. But that only gets you so far, especially if you're only thinking it and not saying it. I've learned this week that when you put it into the world, it feels real. I've been telling myself this week that I am going to write and that I'm going to get my projects done. And there's more words in that, just general senses. And every time I say I'm going to publish something this year, it brings the butterflies in my stomach, and I feel that irresistible need to hide in the closet for the rest of the year and not do anything. And we're resisting it. We're resisting that urge. So my plan is we need to confront this fear, and it starts with two things that I'm going to do to see if that'll work. I've tested it a little bit, and so far it's helped. And again, I'm not a professional. This is just me kind of fumbling my way through things and facing probably one of my biggest fears. I would say it's my biggest. Now that we know why, we're going to start with the ways that I'm going to finish it. The first way is reminding myself why I like to write. It's very easy to get lost in the chase of trying to do things the right way. It's easy to get lost in the feeling of feeling like I'm not doing things right or that I don't know what I'm doing. And then I forget the whole reason that this started, which was originally this was my escape from reality when my brain health wasn't the greatest. I was chopping my mind out of all the problems around me and putting them into a world where I could kind of move the pieces. And it became my way of sorting through my problems. And over time, it made me better at analyzing myself. It helped me see problems from different angles. And over time, I got better at problem solving. And it made me feel comfortable because then, whenever I confronted similar problems later on down the road, instead of going, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, time to panic, or time to have a depressive episode, my brain handles it at a much calmer perspective, and I'm able to rationalize what's going on versus just panicking, because panicking doesn't solve anything. I want to keep that charm of writing. I want to be able to lose myself in the love of the craft because there's this euphoric feeling I get when I am in the zone. And if you're a creative, you know what I mean by the zone. It's the state of mind where your brain nerves are firing so fast that it just gives you that rush of like adrenaline and dopamine. And there's nothing in the world that can touch you when you're in the zone. It's very exciting feeling. I haven't experienced that feeling in a long time, except last week whenever I was doing my writing challenge, and midway towards the end I entered the zone, and it made me remember what made me love writing so much. And it was that feeling of when things start clicking together, you can hear the character in your head so well that the words just flow onto the page. And then you look up and you realize, oh, I should have been in bed 3 hours ago. Oops. It's that feeling. And it's a feeling that I haven't touched in years, and it felt so weird to feel it again. And I want to keep doing it. And that is why I write, to get that rush of energy and everything. It's never been about trying to please people. It's never been about trying to make something for myself. It has always been a way to satisfy this thing inside that tells me that I need to create something. So we need to keep that magic and remind ourselves the whole reason as to why we like writing in the first place is just the wonder of getting lost in our imagination and just being a creative person. So that's the one way, is reminding myself that this is what I'm doing it for. The second way is that I need to change some habits. I have adopted some pretty bad habits because of the clinical depression and a bunch of other stuff that I won't get into. But sometimes whenever I wake up in the morning, I put my pressure on myself going, I have to write today, or I have to do this task today, or I don't know what I'm doing. I should just not do it and find other ways to avoid doing the thing. That's not healthy. I know it's not healthy, and it's something I need to change. So now anytime I start getting those thoughts, I say it out loud, and I'll tell myself, hey, it's okay to not know what you're doing, or You don't have to write today. You get to write today. This is your time to go get lost in the imagination and just be wild for a minute. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I've learned that when I start voicing those things, that fear and that lost feeling I get goes away much faster. So we're trying to stop the bad thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts, because if you tell yourself something over and over again, your brain starts to believe it. That works for negative things and it works for positive things. And you have control, but it takes a little bit of work to train yourself to think that way. But it does help. At least it helps me. So that is a habit that I'm trying to change. I don't know if it will work forever. So far, I've had significantly more energy than normal, but this is probably one of my biggest challenges as a creative person, and I need to get rid of it. It has to go away. We have to fight it back. No more imposter syndrome. I'm done. We're done with this. Done with this forever. Probably not forever, but for now, we're choosing to fight this instead of letting us be in that cycle. For those of you who might be dealing with this, some questions I'll give you, mostly to kind of help search for yourself. Ask yourself, why do you enjoy writing or whatever task it is that you're struggling with? And hold on to that reason and remind yourself why you do the things that you do. Usually it helps fight through the negative voices, because at the end of the day, all of those negative reasons as to why you can't do something doesn't matter if you're doing it for yourself or for some other reason. For me, it's very personal, because again, I like the feeling of getting lost in a world that I have built, and I want to keep feeling that, and I don't want to lose the the reason that I started writing in the first place. So we're going to keep it. But keep a hold of the reasons why you chase certain hobbies and dreams, and tell it to yourself out loud. Don't just think it, say it. And the more you say it, the more your brain's going to believe that, and sometimes it changes stuff. Again, I'm not a professional. This is just me fumbling my way through things, but if it can help one person, so be it. If you're still watching this, my name is Liz the T-Rex. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I am a writer who is currently going through the process of sorting through all of her old writing to turn it into something. I don't know what that something is yet, but this is the journey we're going down. Feel free to follow me along. If you're still watching, go down into the comments and tell me, how do you fight your imposter syndrome, or how are you planning to fight your imposter syndrome? We are in this journey together. This is a community of people that grow together. We're not allowed to let it hold us down anymore. I'm banning it.